Mm, 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 mm. Hello, welcome everybody. Happy Thursday. What day is today? June 11th. Can't believe summer is going by so fast already. Thanks so much for everyone for hopping on today. We're always grateful. For those that don't know us, my name is Robert O'Keefe. I am the creator and founder of Over 55 NJ and Rock Real Estate in New Jersey. And our mission is to help people make educated decisions when it comes to downsizing and all their moving needs. We invite you to go to our website at over55nj.homes to look at all the 55 plus communities in New Jersey. We also have different solutions. We actually had someone reach out today that didn't want to be part of an HOA community. It's very common as people start to weigh the pros and cons. So we actually have some great solutions that are non-HOA related on our site. And we have everything broken down, segmented, so it's very easy to use. So that's usually a great place to start. If you're not a member of our Facebook group, go to over55nj.group and you can join and start talking and asking questions and networking with a lot of other people in the same situation. We're very proud of our group and we grow every day pretty much. So we're very thankful for your support and very thankful to put on this kind of production for you. If you have any topics that you want covered, feel free to reach out to us. So we have a very special topic today. It's a question we get often. And the question is how 55 plus communities handle maintenance, repairs, and yard work. So a lot of times when people are downsizing, they're downsizing for this reason. They've typically been in a home for many years and they just don't want to take care of anything. We also have people moving from the city that are not used to taking care of anything and don't want to be doing that, especially as they reach their later years. So really depends on the situation, but the general rule of thumb is people generally don't want to do this anymore. A lot of people are different. Some people like doing this. I have an elderly neighbor that loves to mow the lawn. I still remember mowing the lawn growing up. It was kind of like a therapeutic activity that I always enjoyed doing. So everybody's a little bit different and every community is a little bit different. So we're going to give you some things to think about today, some general rules of thumb, and we always invite you to reach out to us if you have further questions on anything. Our email address is over55nj@gmail.com. You can also send us a direct message on pretty much every platform. So, what we're going to look at is the first principle here, the top three things to understand about maintenance in 55 plus communities. So, the first one is exterior maintenance is often covered, but coverage varies. So, we're currently under contract with a client we're representing in a community in Hazlet, and certain things are covered by the HOA and certain items are not. So in this example, the homeowner is expected to mow the grass on the property. For the snow removal, the HOA covers that, for example. So it really depends on the community and the individual rules, and every community is different. So it's very important just to understand these things ahead of time before you get too far ahead in the process. Now, the good thing about this client is they were really apathetic to the maintenance and were even kind of like looking forward to it, mowing their lawn. They were coming from the city and they didn't mind to do it. They thought it was good exercise. But you may be in a situation where you don't want to do this. So it's very important to understand this in advance. We recommend you writing down everything that's important to you and also everything that's not important, things you don't want to be doing. So, for example, if you don't want to be cutting the lawn, you definitely want to put that on your list there. And then what we could do on our end is we can narrow this down for you. A lot of this information is not available online. Good luck trying to find it on some of the major websites that carry all the listings. So we actually can narrow down the solutions for you based on these individual preferences. So very important just to make sure that you have an understanding of what you want to do and what you don't want to do. Now, one of the best things we recommend is reverse engineer your search by location and price range. And then what we could do is we can narrow down the best community options for you based on the maintenance and based on what you feel like doing and don't feel like doing. So very important just to work backwards from the location, and the options become a lot easier from there. Then it takes a lot of like work. It takes us following up for you and just making sure that everything is acceptable. And then you don't have to do any of these jobs yourself if you don't want to. But the general rule of thumb on most communities, the exterior maintenance tends to be covered. The lawn care, the landscaping, the snow removal. We even have some communities that we work with where they'll shovel up to your door even. So you pretty much never have to touch a shovel. You never have to own a shovel. So very important key tip there is making sure that you understand the extent of your coverage before you sign on the dotted line. And we could do a lot of that research ahead of time for you. Now, another key tip is if you have a car, you want to make sure you have a covered parking spot if it's available to you. You may not want to be dusting off your car. A lot of our clients are coming from homes with garages that they don't even think about these things. So very important just to understand that dynamic as well when you're considering all the exterior factors. In New Jersey, we have all four seasons here, so you have to be thinking ahead for these things. Speaking of which, boy, is it hot today. Very hot out there. General rule of thumb. So exterior maintenance also covers roof replacement, siding, and exterior painting. So a lot of the HOAs will cover the roof. Some do not. And a lot of HOAs will cover the windows and things of that nature. So it's really broken down by the community. The general rule of thumb is anything on the outside of your walls, the HOA usually covers. Anything inside the walls, the homeowner will cover, which will bring us to our next point, interior repairs. Interior repairs are usually the homeowner's responsibility. The biggest ones being the HVAC systems, the plumbing, things of that nature, the appliances. So before you move forward, you want to make sure that all the appliances are in working order. If the AC is on the end of its life, we're actually under contract right now where the air conditioning is about 22 years old. So kind of expect that to be replaced in the near future. So generally, rule of thumb is the HOA is not going to cover that. So you're responsible for everything on the inside of your walls. The hot water heater is another one. And you want to make sure you understand and take an inventory of these ages of the systems before you move forward. We were just at a home inspection yesterday. We took note of all the inspection, the mechanical systems, the serial numbers for our client. We just basically took them all down, even the washer dryer. So our clients know the serial numbers, the make and model numbers, if there's any warranties left, and most importantly, the age of the system. So we can kind of estimate the useful life on the systems. Now our clients were moving from the city. So we have great referral networks of all the people that they need, appliance repair shops, new appliance stores, painters and things of that nature. So especially if you're moving from out of the area, our whole network is open to you when it comes to moving and just putting you in touch with the right people, just to make it as easy as possible. So everything on the inside is your responsibility, and you want to have a general plan for that. We also consult with people long after the move. We have people moving by themselves. Maybe they've separated. Maybe they lost a partner. They don't know how to do a lot of these things. So we basically give our clients the cheat sheet and consult with them long after the sale to make sure that they're taken care of and they know how to maintain these systems and take care of them. Because a lot of people just don't. In fact, I didn't know how to take care of any of these systems before I became a homeowner. So I have experience, and obviously I have experience being in the business. But you'd be surprised how many people just don't have experience. maintaining these systems and taking care of a home. So very, very important there to make sure you're up to speed on that. And we can get you up to speed if you're a client of ours. We make sure of that. So general rule of thumb, just to recap, everything on the exterior usually is the HOA's responsibility. Every HOA is different. Everything on the interior, almost always the homeowner will be responsible and not the HOA. So kind of an easy way to look at it, kind of an easy way to conceptualize that. Now, the last point we're going to go over is the lifestyle benefit. The lifestyle benefit may be more valuable than the service itself. So when people think about maintenance coverage, they often focus on the tasks, but the real benefit is the freedom. Imagine just shutting your door, going to Florida every winter, and just knowing that the snow is going to be taken care of. Imagine never having to own a lawnmower again. Back in the day, we had gas lawnmowers. There's still a ton of them out there, but now they're electric. But I remember not just going out to pick up the gas, but also going to and tuning it up every year if you're taking care of your machine properly. So you never have to navigate that, especially if you have one of those machines. So fewer weekends doing these things, fewer weekends taking care of the leaves. Just coming where I come from, we had a ton of leaves every year. It was just every weekend you had to get ahead of it. So imagine just never having to do that. Imagine the peace you would have to feel, the peace you would get to feel by not having this in your day anymore and hanging over your head. Just one less thing and more simple and a more simplified life. So basically a tip is just think about how you want to spend your time, not just about the tasks you want to think about how you want to spend your time, not just what tasks you want to eliminate, and think about all the opportunity costs of things you could be doing as opposed to this work that you normally would have to maintain your home with. So hope we gave you some things to think about today. Again, this is kind of a generic type of overview. Again, every community is different. So it's very, very important to do the research on each individual community before making a solid decision. And like I said, we're always available to help you with this, to consult with you. Our motto and slogan is great real estate planning is done in advance. So it's never too early to get in touch and start planning ahead for your move and making sure all your bases are covered. The more time you have, the better decision you're going to make and the more effective decision. It's not a move that happens overnight. So just make sure you're covering all the bases and consulting with us ahead of time. We're a completely no pressure and no rush company, so you can always get in touch at your convenience. And we'll be happy to produce more content for you in the meantime. If you have any questions that you want covered, feel free to reach out and feel free to drop those there. We'd love to hear from you and we'd love to hear your feedback on the show and just cover what you want, because this community is ultimately about you and what and your move. So thanks so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We're always grateful for your support. If you're not a member of the group, please feel free to join at over55nj.group, and we'll see you on the next video. Stay cool out there, and we'll see you next week.